Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the Marvel Legends Ant-Man. This was released way back in 2015. This was a Walgreen store exclusive. I bought this in a Walgreen store many years after it was released, and it had been hanging around the shelves for quite a while, and I just happened to find it. And this version of Ant-Man, his identity is Erik O'Grady. I think that's the third Ant-Man, but even then, this might not be the correct version. This version might be better known as Black Ant, and this was an LMD, that's Life Model Decoy. That's like an android in Marvel Comics, and this might have been a very obscure version of Ant-Man from the comic books. I didn't read it, but that's what I've read about. So here it is in this nice window box, and it does not look like there are any accessories for this action figure at all. So there's the front, there is the top, there is the bottom, one side, the other side. Here is the back. Has a little biography saying that this Ant-Man is Erik O'Grady. It does not mention Black Ant or Life Model Decoy, so maybe that's too much information for the packaging. So I'll take this out and review the action figure in just a moment. Here is Ant-Man out of the package, or the third Ant-Man, whose identity is Erik O'Grady, or this is the Black Ant that was an LMD, or Life Model Decoy, which is like an android. Whichever version it is, here it is out of the package. Let's see how tall this action figure is. According to the tape measure, he's about 6.5 inches tall, or about 16 centimeters tall. So, nicely sized action figure. This is about the skinniest action figure I have ever seen or reviewed, so it just seems so very skinny. Now this one was released in 2015. I think this is using the same body as a Spider-Man action figure, which some people call the Pizza Spidey. Maybe a very skinny Spider-Man that had pizza accessories, something like that. But that was way back in 2015. So here is the Ant-Man with his helmet and a couple of antennae. A little bit, very thin plastic, so pliable. I don't want to push too hard. And some nice details, nice painted details, white eyes there, a little bit of orange, and very simple muscular body, skinny muscular body with some red paint over the black body. Lots of little muscles here, and an extra belt piece around the waist there. It's an extra piece, but it seems to be glued into place there. Just skinny, kind of large feet there. Peg holes on the heels. Just a little bit of detail on the back. So pretty simple action figure with no accessories. So about the simplest Marvel Legends action figure that was ever produced. Looks okay. Let's take a look at the articulation here with the head. You can look up a little bit, but you can look very far down. That's very impressive. And turn side to side, and the head seems to be pretty wobbly, so it's not exactly tilting, it's just kind of wobbly there. At the shoulders we have butterfly joints, so they go in that far, and we can push them back this far, so pretty impressive. And we can move the shoulders up this far. So it looks like this side's going up a bit higher. Some very soft ratcheting in there. And we can spin the shoulders around in an unnatural movement. But it's an action figure, so it'll be fine. Then we have bicep cuts. So that is working there. And this one is working. So that's good. Then double jointed elbows. And I think the lower one is not working very well, but that's about as far as we can get. Now I think the joint piece is a bit softer and more pliable, so I don't want to push too hard. I don't want to stress that plastic. And I think this lower one's not working very well. And on this side, yeah, see this lower one here is not bending at all. It seems to be pretty stuck with the soft joint plastic in the middle there. I don't want to push too hard because I think that'll break, but this one seems to be stuck there. At the wrist, we can turn the wrist and there is a hinge. So that is working. And that hinges and that turns. So that's nice. Then we have a crunch here. So you can crunch forward that far and go back that far, so the crunch is working. There's a waist twist, very skinny waist twist, and it just moves all the way around. Seems pretty loose. And then at the hips, this is as far as he can go, so not very impressive at all. I don't know why he can't go farther out. Now, if this was based on a body that was originally created for Spider-Man, I would expect more flexibility because Spider-Man is a very flexible, agile guy. So, not much range there. Now he can kick forward. Now that is pretty impressive there, so I'm surprised about that. And kick back just a little bit. And on this side, you can kick forward quite a bit. And back just a little bit. Then there's upper thigh cut. So that is working. And this side, that is working. Just a bit stiff, but still working. Then we have double jointed knees. So this one, it should be able to go back more, but this joint here just seems to be stuck there, and I don't want to push too hard because of the small plastic piece that's for the knee. It feels a bit softer, more pliable, and I don't want to push too hard because I think that'll break. So the lower joint here on this action figure is not working. And double jointed knees on this leg. It seems to be going farther. Yeah, a little bit farther, but still not quite as much range as I would hope. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so this one can go much farther, so this lower joint can be bent. Just on this leg, it's just kind of stuck. And on this action figure, there are no boot cuts at the shin. And at the ankles, you can get down to the tippy toes. And you can go forward this far. And we have ankle pivot, so that is working. And that is working. So most of the joints are working pretty nicely, although it feels a bit loose or wobbly, so I don't know if that's the way it came out or if this action figure being about 10 years old, I wonder if the plastic is falling apart after 10 years, and if all the action figures at that age are gonna start getting loose and wobbly and just kind of fall apart whether we're playing around with them or not. So I'm getting a little worried about how long these action figures can last, because I would like them to last for many, many years, because they do cost a lot of money, and I would like to collect them and accumulate them over time. But action figure looks pretty nice. I'm not familiar with the character, but pretty nice. And the joints, the elbow joints there and the knee joint there, one of them on each of those joints is not quite working, but it looks pretty nice. So nice looking action figure. Most of the joints are working, so I'm pretty happy with that. Here is Ant-Man, Erik O'Grady, the Black Ant, or Life Model Decoy android. Next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. And this is one scary big black ant for 4-inch scale action figures. Here is Ant-Man, Erik O'Grady, or Black Ant LMD, Life Model Decoy, or then Android in the Marvel Comics. Next to a 6-inch action figure on the left, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Zeo Red Ranger by Hasbro. And a 7-inch action figure on the right, the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. And we can see that this Ant-Man action figure is just a little bit taller than the Power Rangers Zeo Red Ranger. And he fits in pretty nicely at the 6-inch scale, or he could be used as a 7-inch scale action figure, which would be like 1/10 scale. 6-inch action figures are normally 1/12 scale, but maybe 1/10 scale works nicely for this character too. So I think this is a pretty nice Ant-Man action figure. I'm not familiar with this particular version, the Erik O'Grady character who became the third Ant-Man, or this is the Black Ant, which was an android, or LMD, Life Model Decoy. So I like the obscure characters to go along with the more well-known characters that I have. And this was an interesting set because there were absolutely no accessories to go along with it, no swappable hands or anything. So that was alright. It's just the same price as any other at the time. And what has me worried though is how loose and wobbly it seems to feel. Now this action figure is about 10 years old, and I've taken it out of the package just recently here, so I wonder if it was wobbly at the time, or if the plastic is degrading over time and this is what it's going to be like after 10 years. Who knows what it'll be like in a few more years. So the quality of the plastic, or the plastic degrading or shrinking or falling apart over time, just has me worried, because that's a lot of money for these action figures, and I would like these to last a long time so that I can enjoy them for many years. But all in all, it's a pretty nice action figure for an obscure character, and a nice addition to a collection. Thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about this action figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews and overviews and commentary and ranking. I will see you next time, action figure fans.